race fans, my summer job is almost over, and boy has it been fun. We started with some fireworks in Daytona on the 4th of July.
Greg Biffle is going to score a win at Daytona.
Sure seems like I had to try to save gas all summer, and I spent a lot of time on victory lane with Ryan Newman. Of course, August was quite a month.
I was trying to flat the 7-car fender, and I got mine.
In September, we flagged down a few old friends. And we spent most of October with a couple of Winston Cup champions.
Yeah, baby, Junior.
And what a time we've already had in November.
A season of what might have been for Junior. The 2003 NASCAR Winston Cup Series champion.
Now one final stop in South Florida. Perfect. And for one last time this season...
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me double time.
Live from Homestead, Florida, NBC Sports presents the Ford 400, the final race of the NASCAR Winston Cup season. Today, Matt Kenseth chases his second win of the year, knowing that a championship celebration is waiting for him beyond the checkered flag. For everyone else, it's all about the points, the prize money, and racing pride.
Some firsts and some lasts here at Homestead-Miami Speedway today. Last race for Winston as the NASCAR Winston Cup Series sponsor. 33 years. They've poured more than $100 million into the sport, and that's just in postseason prize money alone. That doesn't count the things like the Winston Noble Millions they did and the Winston itself. A last for Pontiac today. As the brand ends its factory-supported racing, yeah, teams could race a Pontiac beyond this year, but not likely without the factory sponsorship and a long and successful history for Pontiac in this sport as well, BP. They've got something like 100, well, I know exactly, they've got 154 NASCAR Winston Cup wins to their credit.
And most of these teams next year will switch from the Pontiac to the Chevrolet. The only difference in the equipment being the sheet metal.
And the new racetrack here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. $10 million started construction in May, raising the banking from the much-maligned 6-degree flat track to the progressively banked 18, 19, and 20-degree speedways. You've heard the drivers rave about the new configuration, and now we get the chance to get the proof as you see 400 miles of racing on this now very fast mile-and-a-half layout. How fast is it, you ask? The pole speed was 24 miles an hour faster Friday than the track record was before.
It's a great speedway. The team just love it. There's the flagman for today.
Serena Williams, Grand Slam tennis champion, getting set to set the field of 43 loose in the season finale for 2003.
Not able.
17 off the pace. Oh, it maybe slowed down for the caution.
No, I think it blew up.
You think it did?
Yep. I think they might have tuned her up to try and end that championship season with a big win.
Yeah.
And found the edge of its tolerance.
Well, the race and the season is over for you. Certainly not the way you wanted it to end. What happened?
Something just broke an engine, so this is it's a kind of a sour note to end the year. I don't even know we won a championship. It's kind of hard to sit around for 3 hours and wait for the celebration to start, but it's real disappointing. We blew an engine last year, the last race of the year too, and I don't know what broke it. Sure didn't have very many miles on it, and it took something, piston or a rod or something out of it, and just started shaking and blew up. So I'm real thankful that the motor department did a good job for us as far as reliability all year. Second failure we had this year, I wish we could get that down to 0, but a lot of my teammates had a lot of trouble that we've been lucky enough to avoid all year.
Were you trying to push it a little bit today, Matt, in the engine room?
Not really. I mean, they had some different pistons in it. They thought were just, 3 or 4 horsepower better. I certainly took the risk for that little bit of horsepower if I thought there was a reliability issue. But we ran the same gear that all my teammates ran. Where the last month and a half we've been running less just for reliability's sake. But if it only made it 30 laps, it wasn't going to make it no matter what gear we had in it.
All right, we'll see you after the race.
All right, thanks.
Bobby Labonte started second today, has not yet led. A couple laps away from a runner-up finish, Matt.
Labonte's about 4, now about 6/10 behind Bill Elliott. Last time by, Alan, he keyed the mic and said, Elliott's just playing with me.
Well, he's been playing with the field all day.
Everybody.
So it looks like Bobby Labonte's going to come up with a runner-up finish today, pending this final lap. What about this Bill Elliott? 48 years old, the 1988 champion. Long dry spell ended last Sunday at Rockingham. He won at Indianapolis in August of 2002, and it was about a year and 3 months before he pulled off the win at the Rock last weekend. Now he's going to make it 2 in a row to bring down the 2003 season.
Oh, look at that.
Is he on the flat?
On the last lap. The last lap, he must have a flat tire.
Bobby Labonte's by.
Can you believe that?
Elliott is off the pace. Never give up.
Watch out, Bill.
Fatback McSwain is going to get to do a victory dance for us. Last lap drama at Homestead. Bobby Labonte wins the Ford 400.
It's never over till it's over.
I'm telling you, unbelievable.
Bill Elliott's going to come up with an 8th place finish.
Right rear flat.
Well, the right rear completely apart.
Can you believe that?
Wow. Bill Elliott led 189 of 267 laps. But it's going to be Bobby Labonte going to victory lane. You know how many laps he led today?
One.
The last one, Matt. Well, Bobby Labonte has won the race. Dave?
And his guys got to jump off the wall instead. Shock from most people, but you, sir, knew you had a great race car. How surprised were you?
Oh, man, I was surprised. If you could, we don't let you listen to our radio usually, but what
went on in your radio?
I'm telling you, I said 2 laps before that, I said, Fatback goes, keep going, he'll make a mistake. And I said, he's just playing with me, and he's just going wide open. He come off turn 2 there, and that thing wiggled, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. I just absolutely couldn't believe it. Things went our way today, finally. So these guys never gave up. We had to qualify second, and about wrecked the first 5 laps of the race, and then finally run over some stuff when they had a wreck, and the car was just terrible. So we finally track came to us, and so the guys did a great job. This Interstate Battery Chevrolet was good. Got to thank the folks at MB&A, Advair, Centos, Canon, Champion, Coca-Cola, Norman, all the people back in Interstate. Just got to thank them. Fatback, we never gave up. I don't know, I have to count, but this might have put us back on the winner's circle. We got knocked off a few weeks ago, so maybe it put us back on there. I'm not sure yet, but it's a great day for us, and we never gave up. The guys never gave up. Had a good race car, so it's kind of cool to win the last race of the year. This is my 3rd time I've done that, so that's a lot of fun.
And the last race of the Winston Cup Series. Now, you, all week people have been talking about how this track compares to Atlanta. You run very well there. How comfortable were you here based on that?
Well, I felt really good from the get-go, but the beginning of the race was just terrible for me. And I guess the oil just came up through the asphalt because nobody was on the racetrack all morning. The heat got to it. And, we just had a terrible, miserable start. But the track came around to us. It's kind of like an old Atlanta, but it's not really. But it does drive a little bit like it, but not a lot. But it's a lot of fun. The guys here at Miami, they did a great job with this racetrack. I just can't say enough for it. It's something, I think this is a track of the future right here because it'll only get better, I'm sure. And it was a lot of fun to race here today. We had Jimmy Buffett here today. Well, I didn't have him, but he came today, and we sat with him in the driver's meeting. I can go on about a lot of stuff that's happened this year. I didn't have a chance to do this since Atlanta. So, but anyway, it's a good run for us. Got to congratulate Matt Kenseth. One dare do a burnout on his day. But anyway, it was a good day for our Interstate Battery Chevrolet. Goodyear tires held up, and a lot of fun.
He said it. His 2nd win of the season, and the other one came at Atlanta. Matt?
And we're down here waiting for Matt Kenseth to climb out of the car, and that's about to happen. So they're going to get Matt out of the car, and here comes your 2003 NASCAR Winston Cup champion, the official celebration, as is tradition after the final race of the season. Richard Petty presenting him with his championship flag. And that will be added to the top of the podium here along pit road. So Matt will climb up there and raise his banner as the 2003 champion.